What's the greatest marketing lesson I ever learned? Well, there's been many, but the one that stands out the most to me is a concept called the wheel. And I'm going to share it with you in the context of my own business, my own experience, and then I'll try and relate it back out. But for me, I was in the seminar business and I worked with Jim Rohn. And the gentleman that shared this concept with me, the wheel, said, figure out what your core business is. And for us, it was Jim Rohn. So I put that at the center. And he says, then picture a wheel. And that's the center, and then have different spokes. And all these spokes are different products and services you have on your wheel. So for example, we had 1-day seminars. We had 2-day seminars. We had a couple of books. We had a couple of products. And then I added to this concept, and I added this other piece beyond products and services, and the additional piece was called customer acquisition. And I thought, hey, anything that is a customer acquisition piece, I'm going to make that a spoke on the wheel. For example, advertising. For example, lead generation type products. So I started adding all these additional spokes. Then I saw there were some third party deals I would do, JV deals, but we would have back end customer acquisition come through it. So that would be a spoke on the wheel. And the goal is wherever the customer finds you on the wheel through that spoke is to then introduce them to the other spokes on your wheel. And again, you got to have a core. What's your core business? So the same principle would apply to your business. Let's say you're a doctor. What's your core? Let's say you're a DO. Your core is your practice, and you have these different products and services you offer. So in addition to just typical come see the doctor for ailments, maybe you have some additional things. Maybe you have a weight loss product. Maybe you offer, because I know some particular doctors that offer laser skin in enhancement. Maybe it's acupuncture, whatever it is. Some doctors want to write a book. Maybe they speak. Maybe they have a consulting business. So all these are spokes on the wheel. And then finding different ways that you have customer acquisition come into your office. Maybe you do some joint venture deals with other doctors where you refer the others. So again, what's your core business? What are the spokes on your wheel? And then do you have a great way once people get introduced to you to take them around and introduce them to the other services? And that's really where I think newsletters and social media and having communication with your customers, with your clients is important. So you can introduce those additional services and as well as products. So always be thinking, what's your core business? What are the spokes on the wheel of products and services, as well as customer acquisition? And always be thinking, will this be a way to get people onto the wheel and take them around to the products? And here's one last tidbit. The best spoke on a wheel is a customer acquisition and a product at the same time. For example, if you go speak to a large audience, hopefully you're getting paid, but it's also customer acquisition. Maybe you have some potential low-end type of products that are more commodity products that you can get in a lot of people's hands. So that's something you're making a profit on, but also it can be customer acquisition because the product, again, is almost like handing out business cards and introducing you to more additional people. So again, the greatest lesson I ever learned was the wheel. Make sure and figure out for your business what your core is and what your spokes are.